All right, welcome back to Prep for Calc. We learned 4 new subjects yesterday, I believe, or topics. What were they? Topics. Graphing, not graphing necessarily, but intersection and unions of intervals. Basically, simplifying ratios of polynomials with factoring. No geometry, I don't think any trig. Yeah, rational exponents, basically fractions and exponents, and then in a fraction, simplifying it all. Something else. I don't know the last one. Rewriting quadratic expression to find the vertex. So vertex form, and that is f of x equals a times the difference between x and h squared plus k. The vertex is hk. I'm gonna jump back in continuing learning, and I'll be back to recall what I learned in a little bit. All right, I just learned like 3 more topics. What do we got? Solving logarithms with logarithm on both sides of the equation. Basically, there's a property where if you have the same base, so log a m equals log a n. If that's true, then m equals n. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway. That was one of the problem types. Another problem type was solving a radical equation that basically becomes or simplifies into a quadratic equation. Basically, to get rid of a square root sign, you can square both sides. I thought you had to do plus or minus. You don't, but since you do square a radical sign, you do need to check both answers at the end in the original equation to make sure that it both are correct, or to see which ones are correct. That is, if you take if you square both sides, or square a square root, that is, if you square a square root. Okay, or probably if you cancel out any even radical or root, any even root. There we go. Okay, boom, boom, complex fractions. That might be the only other one. Yeah, complex fractions. Basically, you've got like a whole bunch of stuff going on. You've got a fraction dividing a fraction, and you've got factors and quadratics in the numerators and denominators of the fractions being divided by another fraction. Basically, it's factoring, simplifying, and remembering that to divide by something is to also multiply by its reciprocal. Definition of division. All right, solving a radical equation that simplifies to a quadratic equation. One radical, complex fractions, greatest common factor, quadratic factoring, and then solving an equation. Solving an equation involving logarithms on both sides. Boom. There we go. Now we are 3 more topics in, and I'll be back tomorrow to continue learning more. So talk to you then. See ya.